A young lesbian intern.
Yeah, a Wiccan lesbian.
Ooh, fun.
Intern. We're good recording?
Yep.
Before we start the podcast, I want to have a moment of silence. Over at Rouse Farms this evening, they lost Kevin, the rooster, and Midnight, the chicken. Who's that? Is that you?
Oh, sorry.
You're all right.
It's my. I don't know how that's on because it's on silent. It's my boss at one of the bars I work at.
Do you need to take the call?
No.
Do you think they're trying to get you to come in?
No, I'm trying to take off work tomorrow. I only work there once a week.
And they want you to work more?
No, I just want to take off tomorrow, but he just fired someone, so like...
He's like, yo, you gotta come in, do me a solid.
Yeah, and I was like, I have stuff to do, though. So...
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been... Gotta be over 3 years, because when you came on before, it was in Chris's living room. Mm-hmm. We're literally just...
It was 4 years ago.
4?
4.
Yeah. Because at that point...
weren't you in the studio in Bethlehem?
No.
Mm-mm.
No? Oh.
We tried because the podcast got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And then we
for
kept...
10 minutes. Every time we talk about your show,
echo.
he's like, that's when it fucked up for 10 minutes.
There was
I
an
drove
echo.
back and re-put it up, and you're like, it was fucked up.
I just remember that whole night took for like 4 hours for us to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't know what we were doing, and we were doing it in a living room.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we'd have to set it up every time.
Yeah, because
he wouldn't let us leave it plugged in because...
Yeah, but why would you? It was his living room.
He offered to put it there. And
but
we
even when we did it over there, I used to break it down. Yeah. I know it was annoying for you, but that's why we're in the studio now.
It's lovely.
Thanks. What have you been up to?
Oh, God. Just doing my
because when you first came on, was it for Band for Babes and you weren't even doing Livin Hella Good?
Mm-hmm. Bands for Babes.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
So do you still do that?
No.
When did you stop doing that? From the podcast? Because I know like you've always been passionately like doing like super creative projects with like clothing and other stuff like that.
I just slowly weaned off from it because I don't know. I started doing that when I was 18, I think. 18 or 19. So it was just a fun side thing. I would make like $5 off of them. And it was a lot of work. I put a lot of work into them. So I was making these beautiful hair pieces and people were paying like pennies for them.
But it wasn't matching up to the amount of time that you put into making them?
And then I did a project for someone that... Like, I don't want to like say anything so it gets back to the person.
What's their name?
Just give us their
What's
name.
their name? Where do they live?
I made
Just give us their grinder.
I made something for this girl for a wedding. It wasn't her wedding. It was for some friend's wedding. And I put a lot of time and effort and money into it. And they were beautiful. I had to remake it because it didn't match a dress.
Ooh.
And then when I sent her my invoice, she like freaked out, and it wasn't even that much, like whatever, and she wouldn't pay me. She was like, no, I'm not paying you, like whatever. I don't even know. It was a huge thing, and it was just really discouraging, and I'm like, you know what, I put way too much time and effort into this.
With you starting that when you were 18, like I follow you on social media and whatnot, and it seems like you have really cool parents.
Yeah.
So did a lot of that creative building and all that come from like stuff they pushed you at as a kid? Or was it just kind of something you fell into and then they were like, yeah, go ahead?
I was creative my whole life.
Yeah.
My parents aren't really creative. I mean, my dad is really into music and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got like that from him, but the whole creative thing, like I wanted to be a fashion designer since I was a little girl. That was my thing.
Yeah.
I had sketchbooks of outfits and all that. When I wanted to grow up, I wanted to be a fashion designer. That was all I ever wanted to do. And now the flannel thing kind of happened by accident. I was just making them for myself.
Yeah.
I originally wanted to do like what you do with the hoodies and graphic tees and stuff like that. And
It's a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah. So I started making flannels for myself, and everybody wanted them. So it like the first year of them, it was still just like a fun thing. Here and there, people would be like, "Oh, I want to get one for a gift." And then one of my girlfriends was the event coordinator at Blue Mountain, and she told me if I wanted to be a vendor at Oktoberfest, she's like, "I'll give you a spot for free. Just try it out." And I like sold out. So I'm like, damn, I kind of have something here. So that was like 2 years ago, and then I started doing a bunch of events, and it just kind of took off.
And plus, you kind of still have, you have a huge support group. Like, and I feel like it was an easy transition. Not easy, but your fan base from Bands for Babes could easily transition into getting something else creative from you.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole headband thing, I feel like I was just like maturing and kind of outgrew that whole thing. And
that's where I'm at with stuff.
The flower crown thing was definitely a fad at the time when I was doing it. Like the whole like Electric Daisy Carnival music festival thing was like really bumping then. So that was a huge role in like what I was making. That was a huge influence for me, but I'm kind of over that now.
When you were doing Bands for Babes, you were probably learning at that time how to structure and run a business. So like, kind of like walk me through like when you were just starting Bands for Babes and kind of like how you first had to start figuring out even how to run a business. Because I mean, at first, was it just kind of like you were just selling some shit and then you were like, hey, I got to like start keeping track of this and like figuring out my profit and all that stuff?
Every time that I tried to keep track of it with that, it just kind of fell off.
I know.
Because
I do the same thing.
Well, I was working at a restaurant at the time, so I would just bring my stuff in on a slow night and sell them out of a shoebox.
Yeah.
So I never really had it like set up in a way where I could really keep track of my sales, and it was just like quick cash. Like, oh, I want this, I want that. Oh, I'll give you $5 for 2 of them. Like whatever. So I'm at the point now with my business with the flannels that I need to start keeping track of everything because it quickly became like an actual business rather than just being like a fun crafty thing I was doing. So yeah, I'm at that point.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's a huge step. It's a lot more responsibility and a lot more like, I call it like adulting. Like when I have to do my taxes and stuff like that, I'm like, just adult stuff.
There's a lot to figure out.
Did it take you a while to transition into running it like a business, or was it kind of like where it's picking up and you're just like, fuck man, like I really got to start taking track of all this shit and like figuring it out? Like how was that transitioning from not watching it or taking care of it and then having to go into being more responsible with it?
Well, I do a lot of events as a vendor.
Yeah.
So each one that I was doing last year, it just kept growing, and like the people contacting me after events was increasing, and that was like a huge eye opener for me. Like, wow, I need to be on top of my shit like every day now. So people are messaging me, emailing me, so I have to get back to them, and I have to have answers for them. Like, I mean, in this day and age, especially with social media, people like they want it right away, and you have to be like on top of that. So when I was working full time, it was hard for me because I couldn't get back to people like every day, and I was staying up till like 3:00 in the morning when I would come home to make stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because people can order on my website too. And I was offering custom orders at these events last year too, which I stopped doing. Sending them to my website because they would fill out order forms, and then I would have to go home and make sure I could find all these like specific flannel colors and sizes and all this stuff, and I'm like, this is just getting a little crazy. So.
Yeah, like you start trying to offer what other people don't, and then you start realizing why they don't offer it. It just gets to be like a total nightmare. And
at first I was doing it just to like, get the business from people and be like, oh, that's different, that's cool. But it was just like, I mean, it's a good thing. So many people were like, this is awesome, I want to do that, I want to create my own, I want a custom one. But yeah, so now I'm like, go to my website. Do you charge
more for custom? Because I paid out the ass for custom Oakleys. Like when you custom like that, you should definitely fucking charge.
I mean, I charge people like $10 more on the website, but like for now, just because if they take the effort to go on there, they really want it and they fill it out and do it, then that's awesome. So we'll see.
So when you said you were working full time, how was it to even keep up? I mean, like, I know how it is, but I just, like, people listening, like how hard was it for you to run the business, still have a social life, and work full time?
It was really hard. I was burning the candle at both ends.
Did you burn out from it?
I didn't, but I was probably pretty close to it.
Yeah, I burned out 3 times since I started doing this.
And I didn't want to get to that point because I didn't want to, like, I was resentful towards my full-time job, which I was doing something I loved. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, when I would come home, like, the whole social life aspect, I'd be like, I really care about my business, but I, like, need my free time too. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to let down my customers. So it was hard to have a balance. Like, the end of last year, I just was kind of like, I need to make a change because I can't go into another year doing this because it's still growing.
And you're not going to go anywhere with it if you're just going to it'll be the same as what it was last year because you don't have any room for it to grow.
Yeah. And I didn't want to half-ass things because, you know, I'm going to these events continuously now, like, every year. So people are, like, looking to see what's new and how I've grown as a business, and I didn't want to be, like, the same. Then people are going to be, like, bored. The
other thing, too, which I was always jealous you got to do, but when you worked at the screen printing place and you were doing the graphic design and you got to go to those conventions, that probably really opened up your eyes on how to even run them, because I just had to go into them blind. And then, like, I remember the first couple I did, I was just like, dude, I'm doing this so fucking wrong. And, like, I've lost my ass on a couple of them to the point where it's just not, I just don't even want to do them anymore.
I think even when I went to that one, that Walker Stalker one, there was no real rhyme or reason. Like, people were buying these things that were just horrible.
It was cheap.
And there were people that had way better shit.
Yeah.
But it's like a matter of, like, where they came into the building.
It's true.
I'll tell you
and
what,
they, like, spend their money right away. And it's like, why did you waste your money on shit?
I'll tell you what I almost sold out of at Walker Stalker was the Guy Fieri shirts. They sold all fucking day long.
Well, it used
the working class one. I don't know why.
It used to be funny, because people would walk by and look at it. They'd look at it and laugh. And then they would, like, come by again and see it and laugh. And they would, like, just contemplate, like, am I going to wear that anywhere?
I had a kid just eyeballing it, and he kept telling his buddy, like, he was going to get it, and there was a dad there, and I don't think it was his dad. It was, like, the dad taking them to the convention, and then he snuck back over, and he's like, yo, man, he's like, how much? And he's like, I was like, $20. He's like, ah, and I'm like, what do you got? And he's like, 15. I'm like, take it.
Yeah.
And then he took it, and he was so pumped, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see the dad, like, shift the eye over and was just so disappointed, but he couldn't, like, tell the kid no, because I could tell it wasn't his kid, and he's just like, fuck, I'm gonna hear about this.
Yeah, can you imagine that kid getting home and his parents are like, what the hell is that? What are you buying?
It's so weird, because I don't ever, like, picture anyone wearing any of my stuff, or I don't know how you are with it, but, like, I just kind of put it out there, and I don't really, like, I'm not like, oh, cool, people are wearing my stuff. Like, I'm just constantly moving forward. So, like, to me, it's weird thinking that, like, that kid, like, wore that out and was like, yo, look at this fucking Guy Fieri t-shirt. And was, like, so pumped because it said fuck on it.
Or he got home and his parents just immediately took it and said,
oh, yeah. I remember my dad did that. I bought a t-shirt in Stroudsburg. It said, I fucked your boyfriend. And it went to the wash once, and then he Sharpied the fuck part out. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And then the second time it went through, I think he just threw it out. Do you like take notice to, like, people buying your shit, or do you kind of just, like, keep your head down and keep working on creative stuff? Like, to me, it's weird when, like, I see people wearing my stuff, or that's just my weird insecurities with it.
At first, it was weird to me, but I mean, I had a hard time putting things out at first and just being, like, confident that people were gonna like it because I was making them. So I don't know, it is a weird thing to be like, hey, I made this, like, do you want to buy it?
It's so
weird. It's weird. And I don't know, but I had really awesome feedback. Like, 99% people are like, that's fucking cool, I want it. This is so neat.
Do you, like, really pick your shit apart to the point where you're like, I don't think anyone's gonna like this?
Oh yeah.
Even though, like I have hats coming, and they sent me some pictures on it, and I'm stoked on them, but, like, I'm not gonna know how they are until I get them in my hand. But I don't know how they're gonna be, because it's a different style hat. Like, I did a 7-panel hat, and, like, I know that like they're still all gonna sell, but there's a point in me that's just like, I don't know, because like I'm like transitioning into like doing totally different stuff that I've never done before. So I picked a different hat this year, and then I'm doing like more like what you said before, where you outgrew the bands. Like I'm like still doing t-shirts, but I want to do different stuff. So like I'm doing like bomber jackets. That's and cool. Like just stuff I've never done before. So it's like a weird territory where now I'm kind of like back where I started, where I'm like, I don't know if anyone's gonna like any of this stuff.
I think that's good, because I need to start doing some more stuff. I have like an archive of designs and ideas on my computer that I need to put out, but I critique myself
to the point where they just sit.
Yeah, like I'll literally sit on a design for months and months, a lot of them, and I'll try and go back and finish it. And I'll tell myself, the end of this week, you got to get a design out, because I have like 2 hoodie designs that everybody has right now. How do
you? My biggest problem is because I like creating and then going through the process and then just like getting it done. So like the whole build up is awesome, but like working like that is insane, because then it's like I have to just constantly be like go. Like the hats is now, since I did the pre-order, we're going past a month. So like the whole time I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like I want to get these, but it's only my timeline, so I'm only making myself crazy. But like what I'm trying to do now is like stay ahead of everything. So are you trying to do that with like staying ahead of seasons and getting everything organized, or are you just kind of like clipping stuff out?
I'm bad at the seasons thing.
It's so hard to do.
It's so hard, especially because
you have to work backwards.
Yeah, so I mean, I was saying probably in March, like, I'm gonna have a tank top soon. Now it's like almost July, and I don't have a tank top design. It's hard though for me. I am way too critical of myself. Yeah. And I honestly need to just find an artist that I can give my designs and be like, can you finalize this for me and give me your ideas? Because I don't know what to do to finalize things sometimes. And I have these really awesome ideas. It's just like...
Who do you primarily work with? Just yourself? Yeah.
I've reached out to a friend that was a tattoo artist and kind of like gave him a bunch of my ideas, like visual ideas and everything, but he just kind of didn't understand
that's hard to do too,
my vision. So
it kind of worked out with Rizart. I've been working with him so long that we can volley back and forth.
That's cool.
And then the tattoo artists are usually people that I've been tattooed by, so I already kind of know how to communicate with them, but it's still difficult to do. And then Axelrad up where I get everything done, Matt, they're like lead design guy up there. Like we both have like this really stupid, like we're both dumb but creative. Like our emails are like cavemen talking. And then I'll just call him and be like, yo, dude, I'm so dumb. And he's like, you're dumb, I'm so dumb. But he makes everything super easy, because if I want like this logo, like I told him, I'm like, yo, I want to take the clothing and the podcast and combine it, but I wanted a graphic design logo because I wanted to start branding more instead of just doing crazy t-shirt ideas. So when I had him do that, like that kind of opened the door to like now where I have a different style of artist and I kind of have different avenues to go down, but now it's just as difficult as where you're at, because now I have too many avenues, and now I'm just kind of like, well, how do I want to design this?
I think it is cool that they sent you the video of them doing your hats and stuff.
Yeah, well, I always
kind of good. Yeah, people hit me up and just said, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like they're actually recording it while they're doing it for them. It's not you showing up and doing it.
No, I mean I've been working with them for a really long time.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
And their facility's crazy. I knew they were big and professional, but then when I went and saw the place, I was just I gotta check that place
out. They did t-shirts for me that one time for an event. They were cool. And they were on top of it. They got it done in like 3 days and delivered them to my doorstep. I was impressed.
Like that's the thing too, is like they do so many favors for me. And then I started working like for sales through them. So if like somebody, because everyone always thinks I make t-shirts, and I'm like, I wish I'd have a lot more money.
Same
like,
here.
When I was down in Virginia, once just starting it, I wish I would have just been like, I should just do screen printing. Because then like I saw how much they were making in Virginia. Like they got the contract to do when Virginia's basketball team went to the Final Four, they had like 4 or 5 different screen printers making like 100,000 fucking t-shirts, and they were like, hey, if you guys stay here for like 24 hours, we'll get pizza. Now looking back on it, I'm like, you guys were printing cash and just gave us pizza?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think you offered overtime.
No, there was a guy up in the Poconos I used to use for my business at the time, and he had all the law enforcement. So all the CIA, FBI, everybody in this whole East Coast. So you go in there and it's like, what is that? And he's like, oh, that's FBI. Like, wow, how much you charge for that shit? And that's really expensive. But yeah, you can get, Army and Navy has a pretty good gig going, but a lot of people don't do it anymore because they don't do screen printing.
They have all the schools.
Outsource. Yeah.
But I mean, they're contracted into like I'm sure it was a place like you were at that had that where you had like the lacrosse teams and all that kind of stuff.
The company I go through is
No, I mean the place you used to work at.
Oh, well, they were mainly decals and magnets.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we screen printed some of the magnets. It was like an old school screen printer. It was huge.
What do you use for your setup? Do you do all that shit yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. That's so much work.
It really is.
So walk me through the process of, how did you even first remotely fuck with a flannel? Like to do what you did?
I had a craft room at my parents' house that I made my headbands and hair pieces in, but I had tons of clothing that I would either buy like brand new, or I used to be like a shopaholic hardcore, so I had like tons of shit that I've never wear, but I just like the pattern on it or an embellishment or a lace piece, and I like would seam rip all this stuff off. Like I had drawers of ribbon, everything, and I had like...
What were you most addicted to shopping? Like
anything.
Anything?
I just loved shopping.
I love buying cookies.
What kind?
And chocolate. Yeah,
chocolate chip. Chocolate chip's my jam.
Oh my God.
Ever since I was a kid. What's your favorite cookie?
I think chocolate chip probably.
Toll House?
Or like, are we going like...
Any cookie.
Like homemade cookies or like...
Let's just go store-bought.
I've always had a thing for Oreos.
I was going to say Oreos is my next one. If I get burned out on chocolate chips, but Oreos are dangerous because I can eat like a sleeve. And then I'm like, oh man, I ate a sleeve.
How about those ones that are like mega stuff now?
I can't do them. I
thought it was a joke. I seriously thought it was a joke. Like, there's like ones that are like this thick of cream.
It's too much.
And there's like only 10 in a pack because they wouldn't fit anymore.
Yeah. And they upcharge you and give you nothing.
So goofy.
What's your favorite homemade cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Yeah. I know a couple people that know like these baking techniques where they undercook them so they're always soft.
The trick to that though, after they're soft so they don't get hard when you store them, is you got to keep like a piece of bread in the thing with them.
Right too. And there's something with if it's using a specific butter.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm such a fat piece of shit. Go back.
Why didn't we have a plate of cookies here?
I know. I should start having
Chick-fil-A
snacks
cookies.
Here. Ooh, Chick-fil-A does have a solid cookie.
Have you had their tape? Never had their Oh.
Yeah. I think he told me about them, and then I was like, whatever, I'll try it. And now I have to order a cookie.
Yeah, when you go there, you have to get like a bag.
They're like the closest thing probably to tasting like a homemade cookie.
Yeah, they're
like,
really good.
Like Arby's doesn't have a good cookie.
What about Subway? Do you fuck with those cookies?
No, that is like frozen. That's like the shit you get a giant.
Subway. It depends on the Subway. If you have a Subway where they actually give a shit,
they don't.
But most of the Subways at this point, I feel like I went and I was like starving after work, and I just stopped at the gas station in Northampton, and some lady was doing lottery. I despise people who do lottery and then cause no one to be able to fucking get anything. The whole time in my head, I'm like, you fucking stupid lottery people, I fucking can't stand you. And they're always just like, oh, you pick the numbers. Ugh. Lottery people stink.
They do.
So I was like, I'll get a Subway. And I should have walked out because I saw how little the girls cared. And then I was like, oh, do you have this bread? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, that's probably been in there for 3 days. And it definitely was. Like, I got everything, and it was just day old shit.
They like take it out like it's fresh out of the oven too.
Dude, well, my office used to be in the same building as a Subway.
It used to be a solid fucking business.
I don't think so.
I bet you know what? It went down when that kid fucker got caught.
No, I think you thought it was, because when they were right by me in the office, You get so sick of smelling that fucking bread every day.
Dude, you're telling me Subway wasn't shit in high school?
No, and they go, it's Subway Fresh. And I go, yeah, it's a fucking sealed package that's been sealed for how many months?
Dude, I remember when we were hanging out with Cummings and we'd get high and go down to fucking Subway. And it was so awkward because it was the first place you could go and order your own sandwich.
That was that's the reason
why. What do you mean I get to pick the lunch meat, sir?
Yeah. That's the only reason you thought it was good, but it's been the same shit.
You think?
Time. Yes.
What do you think? You think it's
and the cookies are like the shit you get at Giant that come in a tube and you just slice it. And
yeah, their cookies are shit.
Like when I was younger, I definitely like thought Subway was awesome.
Yeah.
But now you know where to get like a slammin' hoagie. So
Wegmans has a good hoagie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And they have a good cookie.
Like if I'm craving a hoagie, the last place I'm gonna go is Subway.
Yep. I probably won't be back to one. Probably maybe a year or two till I decide to ever go back. Maybe a rest stop on the way home.
Seriously though,
it was terrible.
A time of desperation. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, and the girls just seemed so happy because they weren't working. Like I'm like, this place isn't even busy.
Are you saying you weren't happy with your sandwich artist?
Yeah.
What a
sandwich artist.
Let's try to drive up this company. We'll give them names.
Yeah.
They have really cool bandanas now. The workers have like cooler outfits.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
These
trying to
girls
make
weren't wearing anything like that.
They probably got a bunk wearing a shitty one.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not like a full Subway. It was a Subway in a gas station.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two in Northampton.
Yeah. But the one that's right across from the limo place.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's always like 9,000 degrees in there because they haven't figured out the fucking cooling in that store yet.
Well, they're running fucking
and
bread ovens.
The best is you go and you order something and you're like, I just want to get a soda. Oh, that's not our store.
Lottery.
That's not our store. You have to go pay for that first and then come over here.
I just
can't
leave
figure it
now.
the fuck out. Yeah,
I leave. I don't know if it's getting older, but like I just don't have patience for anything like that anymore. So if I go in, like I'll start picturing what's going to happen. Even if it doesn't, I'm like, all right, well, this person's going to take too long. That person's going to get lottery, and I'll just put my drinks and everything like on the floor and just leave. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
Give them something to do then.
Yeah, clean up. So the process of you making flannels.
Back to flannels. Yeah. From flannels to cookies to sandwiches.
So I had a craft room and I had like a stack of flannels in there from the thrift store. And the first one that I made, I had seam ripped like a crocheted skull off the back of a tank top. Mm-hmm. And I was going to sew it onto a jean jacket.
It's a good move.
Yeah. It was going to look cool, but I laid it on the back of this flannel and I had spray fabric paint. So I like tried it out and I peeled it off and I remember like out loud, I was like, holy shit, that is so sick. Like this skull on the back of the flannel. So I just kind of like went crazy with it with like the rest of the stack of the flannels and was just like, what can I do to these?
Do you feel like that moment that you had is what you get addicted to?
Yeah, because I'm always like that with them now. Because
like there's so much stuff that I do that's like mine, like nobody knows, like the part no one sees is why I don't stop doing it.
Yeah, and I love that every one of them is different. Like when I'm creating them and doing the bleach and everything, like,
see that's what I wanted to get into too, is that it's not like you're just recreating over and over and over. So how are they all different? So you made the first one and you were like, damn, that's sick. So then like how did you do the second one?
I don't even remember. I remember that first one that I did, and then at the time I was doing like bleached band t-shirts and doing like the lace up tees and all that.
That's so funny. I remember all that stuff.
So the bleach thing, my pappy actually is my inspiration for that whole thing. I was at my grandparents' house and in their screen porch he had like a black hoodie that was all bleach tie-dyed, and I'm like, whose is this? This is awesome. He's like, oh, it's just I threw it in a bucket of bleach to experiment with it and see what it would look like. And I'm like, really?
Did you do that in high school? Because I remember I think it was either science or art class that they had us tie-dye shirts.
That was graphics arts class.
I don't know.
That was Mr.
I know they explained Mr. it.
Kalicki.
Well, I was at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean,
So they just probably had like buckets of bleach. It was totally unsanitary.
Just don't get it in your eyes, kids.
Just windows
Praise
closed.
Jesus. Yeah. Praise Jesus. Void the
Billy's eyes are burning. Pray for him.
Yeah.
the bleach stuff is serious though. The chemicals. Oh my God.
So you did the first skull, and then you started also fucking with the bleaching at the same time?
Yeah, with the t-shirts. And then I don't even remember really when I started combining the two, but it was soon after that. I would put the stencil down and bleach out whatever design I wanted.
What did you have to do with that process? Were you like dumping bleach on the shirt, or because bleach is like kind of difficult to work with?
I was diluting it with water and putting it in a spray bottle. And at this time I moved it outside because
you were like, I passed out twice.
well, it's like you got to be outside. But then I was combining the two, and I was just amazed at how cool they were. So
if I would try to do that, it would look like I just dumped bleach on a bunch of shit.
Yeah. That's what everybody says.
I would just end up huffing it.
Yeah, they'd be like, what'd you do? Like, I went for something creative, and it's just like I just dumped bleach on shit.
Yeah, and now, I mean, it's like second-hand nature to me now to go in and be like, oh, I need to make a mandala flannel.
So
with
now,
bleach.
when you do the bleach process and what you're doing, is that what makes none of them the same?
I use bleach and fabric paint.
Yeah.
Some of them are just bleach, and some of them are a combination of two.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll like bleach out where I want a design, and then I'll do the fabric paint for the stencil, so it like really pops out.
Yeah.
So I'll totally like lift the color out of the shirt for a design. But sometimes I'll just do like the mandala stencil in bleach, so that's all I need to do instead of fabric paint. I should have brought some visuals.
Well, I mean, they could just hit up what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is livn, LIVIN _hella _good. Livin hella good.
And your website?
livnhellagood.com.
So if I would go on, do they have options on how to pick to do the custom stuff? So like, what are the options that you give to create the custom stuff?
They can pick size, color, and then I have like a handful of design options that they can pick, and then there's like a custom whatever box if they want to add, text to whatever they want done to the shirt. So, or they can do there's a bleach splatter option if they want it splattered. Some people like just want a design on it. They don't want it to look like messy, but yeah, there's a lot of options.
Now when you started Livin Hella Good, like where did that all come from? So you did like a couple of like the stencil flannels, and then you had to market that as something totally different from Band of Babes. So where did that start? I
started the hoodies and t-shirts thing first.
Yeah.
So that was Livin Hella Good, and I don't even know where I got Livin Hella Good from. One of my favorite quotes was "No bad days."
Yeah.
Which is already a thing, but I just always liked that. And for some reason, I always liked the word hella growing up. Like my first screen name was Hella Pisces when I was like
hell of a good dip.
12.
Yeah, I love Hella Good. Hell of a Good that's a good company.
I think my dad told me it was like a cool word when I was younger, so I was like, hell yeah, that's just a cool word, hella. So, and Gwen Stefani was like one of my favorite people ever, and she had no doubt had that song Hella Good. That was one of my favorite songs.
Are you upset that she's doing her music now how it is, or do you like the old stuff? The old stuff is so much better.
So much better.
Now this dance music crap is like, I don't know what the fuck.
She's happy with that country music star, that tall glass of water.
I love Blake Shelton though. Yeah. I'm not really into the country thing, but he's funny. I like him.
Yeah, my parents always watch The Voice, and I'm always having a good chuckle when he's on.
Mm-hmm. He has good songwriters. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really write a lot of his songs, but his songwriters are very good.
Yeah.
So people
I wonder what happened with
his songs
Gavin Rossdale. Do you think he struck her?
He's a weird guy.
He's super weird.
He was in the movie Constantine.
Well, I mean, he was in Bush, and that was all like super emo, depressing, like boyfriend girlfriend stuff before it was even cool to be depressed.
They had 1 or 2 kids or something. But no, I was just watching a thing online, and they were talking about stars that flipped genres, and she was one of the first ones. And it was like, I don't remember half the stuff when she was first came, and I was like, that stuff was awesome.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's that whatever the fuck she does now, dance music.
What about? Well, wait, she did No Doubt, and then they left that, and then she did I Ain't No Holler Back Girl.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
No,
I loved that.
That's kind of the middle section.
And then now
that was still
she
cool.
has Neux. Yeah, she was cool when she came out with that. I just remember seeing her when I was in high school, and she was like the punk rock chick, and I was like, I want to marry her.
Did you ever see the documentary? I don't even know what it's called now. It was about the guy who was a producer who's partners with Dr. Dre.
Yes.
Forget the guy's name, but he's the one that she came to him to do a record, and he was like,
Jimmy Iovine.
Yeah, he goes, it's not bad. He's like, but you need work. And she was like, what? And he's like, so he went to her house, and they put a studio in her garage. So her and her band for 6 months did all their songs, worked with all their stuff, and he brought it back, and he's like, I don't know, it's almost there. And like another 6 months, and she finally came after a year, and he was like, okay, we can do this. And that was like the first fucking album. That's why the first it's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it is
because
awesome.
Just a Girl. I remember when that came on.
I love all their old stuff up until probably like after the Holla Back Girl era. I don't even really know her songs after that.
No, neither do I. I know she did like
she had such a
lipstick and
such a weird voice, but it was awesome. Like it was like I like unique type stuff like that. And her voice is really different.
She got just like too poppy. Like it's kind of like Katy Perry-ish, which that's not my thing.
By the way, Katy Perry's first album was a Christian album. She sang about Jesus and the Lord, and then that didn't sell, so then she went straight to.
Do you think she's trying to hit the younger market again, and that's why none of us like it?
I don't know.
I think she just thought that's what the music genre was going towards, and I mean,
what's it like?
It's dance music.
I mean, wow.
So I
always like to dance.
Yes. No one likes to see you dance. No, it's all digital shit. There's no music anymore. It's not like a band.
Oh, I think
it's because when she went from No Doubt to Gwen Stefani.
Oh.
Now she's just Gwen Stefani. It's not No Doubt anymore.
So it's more like digital.
It's all not real. Yeah.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
She probably sold a shit ton, or they paid her a shit ton of money because she made a bunch of money with No Doubt, and they figured, hey, here you go.
And she had that like clothing line.
Yeah, she could just be wanting to try something new. Now, who fucking cares? Why are we talking about this?
Because she was awesome back in the day.
I still love her outfits.
Yeah.
Still love Gwen.
Did music influence you at all with like doing everything you're doing?
I feel like music always kind of influences me.
You're a music person for sure. Like,
oh yeah.
Like when we had Bill on, and I'm still the same way. Is like it just dictates daily what I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I get to listen to music all day long now. So like I create playlists.
I don't like how Bill bashes all the bands that I like daily. I love you, Bill, but every day bashes every band I like.
What bands does he bash?
He doesn't like Five Finger Death Punch.
I never got into them.
They're a very glorious band. I think they're awesome, and they do a bunch of stuff for the military, like way beyond anybody else has ever done. And he was like, these fucking fake people. And I was like, I don't know. Why do you hate him? He only hates him because everybody else hates him.
He's coming back.
And the reason, and
we're gonna have a Natterday podcast.
I had a lot of time at work, so I watched and there was a whole thing, or was documentaries on why people don't like them, and it's because they got super famous super fast, and then what did they do? They started going and like doing videos with military people. So now people that are against the military are like, these guys are fucking assholes, and then they just start writing about how bad they are.
What other bands?
I don't think he'd talk shit on Korn too. I love Korn.
I'm down with Korn.
Yeah, Korn, Follow the Leader. That has a special place in my heart. That was a good summer. I think that was the first summer where I was like, you know what, I can get fucked up and get away with it.
Yeah, I've liked that band my whole life. Like I was at MTV, and they brought one of my friends up. We had a whole backpack full of Coors Light because I drink Coors Light. So we had signs that say, yo, we got the Coors Light, and they picked him out of the crowd, and he's up there drinking with Korn.
Why didn't you get to go
my friend waving. That didn't get picked, apparently. I did get picked for Hip Hop Week. Apparently I look like I'm a hip hop person. So I got to be on camera every day for Hip Hop Week.
Oh, you lived in New York City. I was like, why the fuck are you driving to fucking
no, but they came into New York City in a a Hummer with skeletons all over it for
Halloween.
No. There's
Depressed.
What's the fucking bar that's there? Oh, Jekyll and Hyde. There's a restaurant there, Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
So they came in their thing, but no, their whole fucking life was, I got a demo when I have their first famous songs. I got from a demo from a fucking California radio station. I knew about him before anybody fucking knew anything.
Do you guys remember Jesse Camp? The guy who won the VJ contest.
No, everybody.
They rigged it, and he just looked like this weird
He was a guy looking
heroin addict scarecrow.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, he was at Times Square, and he was like, "I'm Jesse Camp," and we were there for a school trip, and we were just trying to find. It was me and Kevin Patton, and we were just trying to find beer the whole time, and he's like, probably from here to the wall away from me, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's Jesse Camp." They're like, "We're recording." I just kept yelling, "Yo, fuck you!"
Yeah,
fuck you, Jesse Camp. It was like I don't do stuff like that anymore, but there was like a really big gap where I would just try and ruin stuff like that all the time.
New Year's
Eve,
my
favorite thing to do.
So was
I yelled at a Santa Claus once on 512, called him a Nazi.
1999.
There was kids everywhere.
Of course there was.
My brother's like, "What are you doing?" I hung out the car window. Was like, "Yo, fuck you, Nazi."
Yeah. No, I was in Times Square, 1999. To watch a ball drop. No, because it was.
What'd you do? Like just piss your pants?
It's not. No,
that's all I think of when people say they go there.
No, it's complete bullshit.
I'm like, rocks suck to use the bathroom. I'm fucking good.
So, no, we went early.
Get into that claw.
Yeah, we got there early, and we were there when they were doing an interview, and they had Fred Durst came out. And I was just at a concert like 2 months before, and he didn't play. They came out, and they were like, "Hey guys, Fred's sick. He can't play." So
I didn't realize he did a lot of that.
So he
stuff.
goes, "Filter's gonna come back out," and I'm like,
"What was their big one?
Filter.
Hey man, nice shot."
Yes, I'm like, and something about a
good
camera.
Fucking tune, man.
Dude, they were such a shitty fucking band. So they're like, they're gonna come out and play more. So then he was standing on MTV, and I was intoxicated. And I kept saying, "You fucking piece of shit." And then I just started real loud telling the story how he didn't show up. So the whole time they just kept going, "You suck." So they kept moving the cameras around. And I was like, "You fucker, you don't look sick now, you fucking ass." So the whole time. But no, if you get to Times Square.
What do you think he had? A cold?
No, he's probably just drunk. But no, Times Square, you get there. We were there at 11 a.m. with a backpack full of mixed drinks and hoagies and everything. And we showed up and there was nothing. There was no one there. There was nothing. And we're like, wow, we're really early. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they finally started putting like cones out. Mm-hmm. And then at about 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, they had cops going up and down the street saying, "Anybody if you're going to do it, you have to get inside the cones. If you leave, you can't come back in. And you can't have alcohol." Meanwhile, everybody's drinking and they're riding by on horseback just going, "You can't have alcohol." They didn't do anything. So then it was like 10 or 11 and it's like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. So you just go, I have to go to the bathroom. And you just leave. And you come back and you stand there. And then about a minute before the ball drops, you can literally walk up to where it drops. You can walk right up to it. It's packed, but it's not that as much you see on TV.
Yeah.
And you see the ball drop, and then everybody fucking hugs each other, and there's, confetti and all that shit.
That's
and
cool.
then it's a mad dash to the fucking subway for everybody to leave. Mm-hmm. But it's not what everybody thinks. Like, you're sitting there and it's grueling. You don't have to. You can show up at 9 o'clock at night and still get in. But everybody thinks you have to like camp the fuck out. It's not.
Yeah.
What about taking pisses and shits?
There were people that just pissed on the street. But no, they said you weren't allowed to leave. Yeah. But you could leave. You just go and
I'd rather go to Penn's Peak. You a big New Year's Eve gal?
No.
What's
Definitely
the craziest thing you've done on New Year's Eve?
Ooh. Went to like a Philly house party.
Yeah.
I don't really like to go. I think it's a little overrated.
You never did the go
I don't
to
think
like
I've ever had a good New Year's Eve.
Well, none of you have ever gone to like the New Year's Eve parties things they had? So
no,
I don't know when it was. So there used to be like there were hotels.
Dragged to the club with Josh every year.
No, so you missed out. So
I usually go to just like a house party.
No, every year there would be a hotel somewhere.
I should have a party here for New Year's.
You should. I can walk here.
Yeah.
But no, there used to be hotels, and they would get those cover bands. Like, pick one. Fucking
Big Orange Cone.
Big Orange Cone, Emily's Toy Box, whatever. All those people, and you would pay for a room. and you pay for a ticket, and they'd give you food, and it was open bar.
That's cool.
So it would end up being like
DJ
$80-$90 a person.
Is what I wish should have went. And
That would have been great. But no, every year we do that. We had a whole group of friends that every year we'd say, where are the hotels, where are the things, and like you just do that and drink all day, and that's when you have a hotel to stay at.
I lie. I New Year's didn't start getting good until we started going to Bill Keller's house. That guy has a ridiculous
That's
setup.
the guy that has a crazy party.
Yeah, he just their goal is like to entertain. So they have like this huge...
There's people like that. They love to throw parties.
He does. And like they don't really celebrate. And like their party is when everyone's gone and then some people stay over and then they can get fucked up. But for the most part, like he'll be like, hey, do you want a mixed drink? And then he's like making you mixed drinks. He's got like homemade pizzas. People are bringing food. But like the whole place is decked out for you to just... He's waiting on you. And then he's got the downstairs set up for everyone's kids. So if people want to bring their kids, they can hang out. And then he's got a whole outside... grill, stove, bar area, and he's got like the heat lamps that they have at like clubs.
Yeah,
those are awesome.
Dude, it's totally insane. So like once Jer started taking me there, that's just what I do every year. And everyone's like, what are you doing for New Year's? And I'm like, going to Bill's, because everything else sucks. Even if I sit at a table, and like last year I really didn't get drunk. So like,
no, I haven't been drunk just New Year's. 14 years, 15 years.
Why?
My wife's birthday is New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's right. You just have to give up.
She goes to sleep at like
Rubs
8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like,
don't you guys go get fucked up at a party?
No.
Yeah, why don't you take her to a party and get fucked up?
She doesn't do it. She just, I'm going to go to sleep. So it's me by myself at my house.
We should change that this year.
Do you do the countdown out loud by yourself?
No, a couple times I did the... Woo! Oh, that's crazy. I did... It was usually
Shut up.
No, not at all. No one wants to see that. I did there's a bunch of shows that have like marathons on.
Yeah.
So I usually just watch the marathons. I don't ever watch.
That's so depressing. Why don't you come to Bill's this year? I'm not in a place
because it's her birthday, so I can't really go anywhere. So why don't you
bring her?
She doesn't want to go anywhere.
I'll talk to her.
We have 2 kids. What are the kids going to do?
Send them to Grammys.
But if you have a party here, I can walk here.
But then I'll break the going to Bill's party.
Yeah. I heard he canceled anyway.
Okay. Where were we on the steps of what you do?
We were talking about music influences.
Oh yeah. So you did like the Livin hella good sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts, and then you started picking up the flannel business heavier than the t-shirts and the hoodies?
Yeah.
Because primarily you're just blasting flannels out at this point.
Yeah. That's my main thing. And
when you were talking about designs that you have ready to go, are those for t-shirts or for flannels?
T-shirts. Yeah. Like that I want to get screen printed.
Isn't it fun juggling 2 things? It's the worst.
Yeah.
I keep adding shit.
I need like a t-shirt and a hoodie that people can wear underneath their flannels.
Yeah. Or just to have a basic t-shirt, because then you'll pick up more. Well, I mean, is it girls mostly buying it or guys as well? Is it like a unisex flannel or? Well,
I have some for both. Yeah. I have flannels for both. But, I mean, the hoodies are totally unisex.
Yeah. I'm just saying primarily, like, if you bang out a t-shirt, you're probably going to get more guys picking that up than them doing the thing. So, yeah, but then you have to be like, all right, well, if I'm making the t-shirts so I can just get those the fuck out of there, that's weighing into your time of doing custom fucking flannels and like booking all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just need to finish some designs, get them printed, and then I can just post them and have them with me. Because after that, the only effort I really have is sending them to people if they order them, or if they pick them up at an event. That's no skin off my back. But I just need some more variety of options to offer people besides the flannels.
What's your biggest technique for when you're overwhelmed and everything gets to a point of like a clusterfuck and you're like, fuck, and you're just kind of like torn between life and all that? And like, I'm going by off of like what I do, and you might not do it, but like I'll get down on myself sometimes and be like, this fucking, like how we were talking before, where you start hating what you like to do. Like, how do you reset when things get heavy?
Well, there's definitely been days where I'm just like, I know I have to get stuff done and I can't get anything done because I'm overwhelmed.
How frustrating is that?
I hate that because I'll be in like a creator's block headspace, and I'm not motivated to do it. But once I start doing it, then I get into it.
And so you're like, oh, this is why I do this.
Sometimes I have to just kind of force myself into it, and then I'm good to go.
I'm that way with editing. Like, I'll have to but now it's getting to the point where it's not really like being forced anymore, but it's now like there's some aspects of this that I have to start looking at it as a job, and I've never done that. Like, I've always looked at it as like, oh, this is annoying. But this is the stuff that keeps it going and having money come in and, like, getting the content done. So, like, how do you find, like, the time? Because all that eventually just crosses each other. So, like, how do you kind of, like, reset?
I mean, I definitely... I won't burn myself out anymore. That's kind of why I had to leave that job. Yeah. Because I kept finding myself
let's go back to that a second, because that's very hard to do, and it's very ballsy, and it's why I like interviewing people like yourself, and like we had Rip Nuts on, and like Drew Hoagland's getting ready to take the jump. Like, if you're running your own business, you have to have another job in the beginning, and then it's extremely... You're afraid because you want to do the thing that you love, but you don't know if you can live off of it. Mm-hmm. One, because of what you're told growing up, where like, you need a job. You have to get a job, 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, you're like, well, I made this much money off the flannels, but is this something that can continually keep going? So like, how was that? Where was the point where you just kind of had enough? I was just getting very resentful about going to my job, because the whole day for 8 hours sitting at a desk. How awful is that car ride in?
I hated it. I honestly hated it. And I loved what I did there, which that's why I was like, this sucks. I can't do this for another year. So I quit my job at the end of 2018.
Were you nervous to do it, or was it something that you were like, I've had it?
I was very hesitant about it, because I worked there for like 10 years. Yeah. So it was a small business. I didn't realize you were there that long,
but yeah, I guess.
Yeah, since I was a senior in high school. So they were like family to me. Yeah. There.
And it's super tough when you're like in a situation like that, where you know, like, you could look around and be like, I'm not going anywhere, because the guy who's ahead of me is the brother, and the guy over here owns it, and the lady doing that is the wife, and no one's going to pay me more than what I'm already making the last 5 years.
Exactly. And yeah, so it was frustrating for me, because as a designer, I was getting better every day. Yeah. And just like, I grew so majorly in that company and helped them grow that company from when I started massively. And I just was like, why am I still where I like don't want to be? Yeah. And I'd work so hard every day, and I'm not getting anywhere. I just didn't see a goal anywhere in my future in that place. So,
but at least you listen to yourself, because there's a lot of people that say that every day, like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why do I still hate my drive?
Why am I the creative one and I'm making them money? Mm-hmm. Like, you're not making any money and they're benefiting from your creativity. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's the famous saying that you give up a 40-hour work week to do an 80-hour work week.
And my thing with leaving there is, it's not like I can't do graphic design anymore. I can literally do it sitting in my bed if I want. I still do graphic design for people all the time. Yeah. But I mean, another thing. For Christ's sakes,
you could do graphic design and sell it on Fiverr.
Yeah. There's just so many outlets for that, and I could still do it and make even better money. Mm-hmm. So I had to let that go, even though it was tough. But I mean, I was finding myself during the day there being like, I could get so much done right now with my shirts and like really grow this company and not be up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Because you had to wait until you got home at 4.
Mm-hmm. And then at that point, like, I would have to run to the store to get supplies. Yeah. So I wasn't even getting started sometimes until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, which it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got to stay up till 3, and then you got to go to a place that you don't enjoy working at anymore because tired. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything worse. Oh.
It was to the point where sometimes I would bring supplies in my car, and my lunch break, I was like spray painting flannels in the parking lot. Yeah.
I remember
like,
at the deli, I was like on the phone like with lawyers with like trademark stuff in my car. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I don't have time to do any of this shit. And then like sometimes it'd be like I didn't want to piss them off, but then at the same time it's like I'm working from 7 a.m. till 8 o'clock at night. There's no other window
there's
to
no
do
other
this.
hours in the day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't go to the bank. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Exactly.
I have a half-hour break, but it's like you don't leave because where am I going?
It's a good thing when you work for yourself, you can take those days. That today, this is what I'm doing. That's the best part.
That's what I've enjoyed the most. It's just like, you know, I could when I come off of like an event Monday, I'll usually take a break from doing anything with it because I just need to like clear my head.
That's what I usually use Sundays for.
Yeah. But it's nice being able to like wake up at 8:30 and not run to my job. I can go get all my supplies, and you know, by 3-4 o'clock at night, I have a full day of like productiveness with my business. Then I can go do whatever.
Well, I think stuff like that too. If you have a place, another place to work, like if you have a designated room and you treat it as like you're going to a job, you'll do it forever.
Yeah.
Then you treat it as a job. You'll get up on time every day. You won't half-ass it. You won't sleep away. Like people think, oh no, you work from home. No, do it. You treat it as your own job. You get up, you go do everything, and treat it as a job, and you'll get a shit ton. But like I miss when I own my own company. I miss there to be days and be like, hey, you know, one of the kids are sick, and it's like, all right, I'll just go get them. I'm gonna take the rest of the day off, and it was not even a problem. Now it's like,
I know
I have to ask somebody. I have to get somebody to cover for me. I have to do things. Sometimes I can't take off. What do? You know, there'll be a day like I need to get shit done. My fucking car needs to get inspected. I have to get shit done. It's the fucking what? The 26th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like a couple days before the end of the month and I'm fucked. But what day do I have? I have 1 day off.
Yeah. I have 1 day off now, and last week it was supposed to be Thursday, and this week it was supposed to be Thursday, and both weeks are just like, yeah, you don't have a day off. And I'm like, cool. What are we doing? Because like I've been working 10 to 14 hour days every day.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? And then like I see how it's affecting me, but where I'm at now, it's like I still need to do both. And I'm like, all right, well, I should have had the Skype stuff 2 weeks ago, but I haven't had a day off. So like I haven't been able to get to the bank. I haven't been able to go shopping. I haven't been able to go do all this stuff. It's a total motherfucker to balance.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I still bartend, but the hours are...
I miss bartending.
Yeah.
I don't miss the people.
It's fast cash.
I miss the money.
Yeah, it's fast cash, and I go into work at 5 usually, and that's only like 3 or 4 times a week at the most, and then I still have all day like business hours to go get things done. If I have to meet up with people or whatever, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it sucks because I'm on the opposite end of that, where now I don't have time to meet up with people, and now it's like I have to book everything through texting. And like I like meeting, like I wanted to meet up with you, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just come up to the bar and I'll just get some drinks and food and we'll hang out. And like I like having met up with the person at least once before we go on, so then there's like you kind of pick up for where you left off, and it makes the interview better. And it's like I don't have fucking time to do that anymore. And I try, and like I said to him, I'm like, I might as well embrace not having time because I'm just pissed off constantly, because I'm like, fuck, man, I can't get this shit done.
Yeah, I know.
And the only reason it really works is because I've been trying to do it for so long, where like I know how to cut corners and handle ordering stuff just through emails or calling Axelrad. And like the other thing too is like when I hit Matt up, like I took 2-3 hours by myself, and like because I've had these ideas for clothing for years, like what you do with like just having stuff locked up, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna sit down and do this. So I went through and I picked all my clothing out, I picked everything out, and I kind of am ahead on the seasons.
Yeah.
So like I was gonna do flannels last year with that logo on it instead of the NA that I normally do, and they look awesome. But I was like, it came down to where I was like, stop, dude, like you're trying to force things again. So Matt was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, they're for next year. So now I have flannels ready, the bomber jackets. I'm like, oh, well, I could do those in fall. And then I have like tank tops and stuff that I should be pushing in the next couple of weeks. But like, I gave him 30 items and I was like, just mock up all these and then we're good for 6 to 8 months.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that took years of like telling myself, stop, just stop. But then I want to do a t-shirt in between. And I'll be like, you should do another working class shirt, or you should do a fuck hipster shirt. And then he just throws a fucking wrench in everything. It sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just, it's hard balancing. Hats off to you for being able to fucking have your days. So like, now that you have your days, like, what are you doing? Like booking more conventions and trying to get into bigger stuff? Like, how did you get on that scene? Because I saw that you were doing like, what was it? Like a couple wineries and stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the events I do are very small. It'll just be like piggybacking off of like a small business, like
do stuff in a salon.
Yeah, like stuff like that. But I want to do. I mean, I'm always like networking with people, which goes well with me being a bartender.
Yeah.
And I met these guys, for example, 2 nights ago, who are in town for work. A lot of people come to Riverwalk who are like out of town because it's right by the turnpike, so they stay around there and come eat there or whatever. And these guys are from Daytona, and they're like, oh my God, like, we just got to talking. I told them about my business, and they looked it up and stuff, and they're like, give us some of your cards. We have so many people that we know down here that, you know, we can get you in for, like, Oktoberfest and Bike Week and all this stuff.
Bike Week would be huge.
I know, and that's kind of what I wanted.
Your problem would be you'd have to make stuff for the entire year just for Bike Week.
Yeah.
But I would love that. I would be so motivated for that. Like...
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of events there. Are they going to let you sell stuff there?
At whatever.
At Riverwalk?
They let me already.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Yeah, they told me any day I want to bring my shirts there, I can sell them.
That's cool. Yeah, they have a lot of events that go on there.
Yeah.
It's a really nice area there.
Yeah, really it's like cool.
I really want to get back in doing that stuff, but it's just, I don't have the time with the job I have now. But I did like doing conventions. I just never found, like, tattoo conventions, like, I did okay at them, but everyone's bringing money to get tattooed.
Exactly.
So it's like if they have $20 left over, you're going to sell a shirt. And then it's like, I did really well the first year at Skin Industry, but then the second year, then the third year, and I just kept seeing it declining because I wasn't the new guy anymore. So if you go to the same fucking thing every year, and even if I have new t-shirts, they're not looking at that. They're looking for something different.
Yeah, see, I'm definitely trying to do some new ones because I do all the Blue Mountain events, and a lot of people come back to that event and they're like, oh, I got something from you last time, whatever. Yep. So I need to kind of like expand. I feel like I'm starting to oversaturate the area that I've been doing them in.
It's good and bad.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of reoccurring customers that buy them as gifts or buy every single design for themselves. But like I'm trying to expand into like the Poconos a little bit more. Yeah. Because they have lots of events up there. So I actually just emailed somebody for Pocono Pickle Festival, which is in October.
That's awesome.
I saw like a lot of people were like interacting with this event on Facebook, and the lady who emailed me back was like, oh my God, I actually have one of your flannels and I would love for you to be a part of this event. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But I want to like get up there. I don't know. My goal for myself is to expand and like travel to go to bigger events. Like I would love to go to Nashville and do something. Like I would totally kill it there, or like Austin, Texas or something. So that's my like long-term goal.
What's your plan on getting into stuff like that? Just slowly going towards where you're trying to be?
Yeah, I mean, I have some friends that live in Nashville who told me about like a flea market that they have. I guess it's like once a month there, and you don't have to be like a very established business.
Yeah,
like,
you just pay for a
you just pay for a spot.
My uncle used to do that down at I think there was a flea market called the Cove, and he had these awful paintings, and then he had like a painting of himself, which is here somewhere. I don't know how Uncle Chuck didn't make it on the wall. R.I.P. brother. But he would have this book like about the artist, and like no one would ever be able to read the amount of shit that he wrote about himself. And then he would have a couple of things that he would try and sell. Yeah. But like anyone can get a fucking table.
Well, I heard that this particular flea market in Nashville is like extremely popular, and a lot of people go to it. So
Those are big down south. They're a lot bigger than around here.
Austin is the fastest growing city or something like that. That's a really big hot spot.
Yeah.
If you can do anything there, it would be good.
I know.
There's a lot. I mean, it's everything. I want to go there. They have a bunch of big like food truck areas that it's just like, it looks like a huge marketplace.
It's so cool.
And it's all surrounded. But yeah, Austin's awesome.
There's just a lot, like, I just know
there's shit going on.
Those particular cities like just stand out to me because they are like kind of becoming more popular. Like they've always been, but I just feel like they're becoming more of like a trendy place.
Nashville is more of it's a tourist place now.
Yeah,
it used to be. Nashville used to be where all the country music guys would go, and that's where they lived, and that's where they went. And now it's more popular. But there's a lot. Everybody's buying shit there now. So
exactly, And I think I mean I have a very affordable product that's super unique that you won't find anywhere else. So I think I would do well in a place like Nashville, like all year round.
What do you have lined up for this year? Convention wise and whatnot.
I don't have any conventions because they are like very expensive to be vendors at.
Oh my god!
And I'm just kind of like,
I would get hooked up at like the tattoo place, or we used to like trade for space with Skin Industry. But like when I did them in Jersey and places where like nobody knew who the fuck I was, they were like charging me what tattoo artists were getting charged, and I'm like, yo, I'm not making fucking $300.
Honestly,
they're only gonna do like a tattoo a day, and it pays for their fucking thing.
Dude, I'll never forget. I did really well at Skin Industry, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna travel and sell this stuff. And then I went to New Jersey, and I spent over $1,000, and I made $200.
Oh my god!
I was so miserable. I was sober at the time, so I was just like on edge a lot, and like, if you sit in a booth and nobody buys anything that you made, it is one of the most depressed. That's also another reason why, now I'm remembering why I stopped doing the fucking conventions, is because
it's awkward too.
Even
when I used to cover for and you'd go to the bathroom or something, people just walk by and look, and you're like,
yeah,
here's my stuff. And it's just awkward if they walk away.
Yeah, like Walker Stalker. I mean, it was a fun weekend because I got to like hang out and drink with Scott, and like I paid like $100 for the booth or whatever. So like I didn't lose my ass on it, and I sold a bunch of stuff for Guy Fieri, and for the fact that I sold anything and it was just completely for Walking Dead. Like that's all anyone there. It was just like crazy women, like in their mid 40s, just hoping to run into that hunk from the show. What was
I'm not giving you his name.
Norman Reedus.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was at the Walker Stalker when he signed that day. You couldn't go to that Walker Stalker. You remember?
Oh, yeah, the one I went to.
Yeah, see, you went to one that I wasn't at.
The Punisher guy.
Yeah.
Was supposed to
be
there.
But Norman Reedus, that was the first time I've ever seen a celebrity actually be followed by people. But he looked at me and was like, "What's up?" And I just got awkward and just turned my head.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that guy. What's the guy that played Punisher?
I forget his name.
We have his picture somewhere. That guy. He was supposed to be there, but that was when they had all those, every couple of years, but they had fires in California. And his house was on fire. So obviously he had to leave.
Yeah.
Have you done a big convention like that, or are you just doing like outside smaller stuff right now?
Yeah. Just because I haven't taken that risk of like paying that much yet.
It's crazy, man. It's a whole nother ballgame of stress.
Yeah. I know that I do well at these like events around here.
That's why like I really want to, and I started looking into it, but it's like I would have to like stop doing. I would have to just do the podcast and not do anything else and completely focus on doing it. But like the fact that there isn't a convention that I know of. Well, I know they have like the elite ones where like it's like the new stuff coming out and like it's only in like New York or LA and like you have to be chosen to do it. But I really just want to do a convention where it's just local clothing and like.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, but like because I'm always every time I go to these conventions I'm like none of this shit's set up for me. It's for a tattoo thing. It's for Walker Stalker. There's not anything where I can go or you can go and just set up your booth and people are coming to shop. Like they do that stuff in the city where like because I've been to a couple where like you go there and then retailers shop and then like if somebody wants to put living hella good in their store. Like say like PacSun buyers come and then they're like, hey, like, can you give me 10,000 flannels?
See, that's how like the surf expo that I would go to. Yeah. That's how that was. Like there was like an apparel section. Yeah. That people would go and they would order. It was these stores would come and order like you said, like thousands of things for their
I was so close to doing that.
And
so close to doing that.
But once again, that's like very expensive. And my problem is like I hand make everything.
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody said that, like, okay, we want to buy 10,000 of your flannels. When can you have it done?
I would have to like, that's where I'm getting at. Cause I would love to be able to do that, but I don't want to change the process because that's what makes it cool.
Yeah.
But I need to figure out an easier way to make them. So if I do hire help, I'm not like, oh, just throw this stencil down like with bricks.
Have you tried getting anyone to help you?
One of my best friends helps me. She's helped me create them. She's like the only person that I've really let like actually make them with me because it is a process. And if you aren't careful and like really do it like how I do, you'll mess them up. So
or burn your eyes out with bleach.
Pray for them.
Pray for you.
But I've talked to a couple different people about creating some sort of thing.
Like a jig?
Yeah, like something that's like a screen printer, but I can like do the bleach with it. So it's just a little quicker for me.
You probably could. It fits in. You know, the garment will fit in a certain way, and it'll be able to be tied down in certain sections. It'll be, you know what I mean?
And just a way for me to like bleach, splatter like a bunch of them. And if I want like, you know, say I want to bleach out the back for a mandala, like, you know, I can just do the quick circle on the back and do the next one. Like
you could probably do that. I think that would be something you should look into. I mean, spend a whole day or two trying to figure it out. And if it's something like, hey, I think you can, why wouldn't you?
I know. My dad has really been getting on board with like trying to help me really like look into making this like, you know, grow this business to be something like that.
Yeah. Because ultimately that's what screen printers do. I mean, they have it, they have their whole thing set up that you just put the garment on, everything's set, you know what I mean? It's just.
And then I could hire help and that's what I want to do. I want to do more with it and be able to go to these like bigger conventions.
Do you have plans for it in like the next 5 years or so? Like where do you want to take it?
So my like next like bigger goal is, like I said, I want to kind of like expand it to different areas and see like how I do, what my feedback is. If it really takes off in multiple locations outside of Pennsylvania,
head south.
Then I'm gonna be like, all right, I can actually like really make some money doing this. Like that can grow this company to like be something.
So what's more of your clientele? Like how would you describe what your clientele is?
Definitely girls. Like, and it's all age, like women.
Okay.
Because tons of people are like, oh, can you make some for my kid? Or I have like grandmothers that wear them.
Yeah.
But then like my mom and all her friends have them. They like give me shirts to do for them. And obviously like all girls like my age, younger than me, whatever. It's like, honestly, I haven't seen like any age group that's like, nah, that's not really for me. So, and guys like are getting on board with them too, because I do like more manly designs than like the mandala and roses and stuff. I do really well at motorcycle events too.
Yeah.
That's like.
Well, and that hippie fest, do you still do that?
I only did that once. That was with the headbands at
Could you see yourself being able to get into something like that?
Probably.
You'd probably just have to change it to like full tie-dye stuff or something.
Well, I think they would still go well with like a hippie thing. Yeah. Even like a music festival. Like
you should try and get into Music Fest.
I know.
I think it would be super expensive though.
I want to try and go through.
Yeah, but she'd probably fucking destroy at Music Fest.
Like the wooden match area. Yes. I think I would do the best there.
Yeah.
And they're like not really like Music Fest.
No, they do like a totally separate thing where they're like not Music Fest during Music Fest.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I would want to be.
We should get them on and start promoting that entire thing. I'm totally down.
I love that bar. Yeah.
Fuck music.
And I love the fact that they
That's
don't
what it should be called.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they do all of that and they make it known like we're not a part of Music
Match Fest.
That means they're probably somebody we should hang out with.
Yeah. We should go down to the Wooden Match so you can talk to them about that, and then I'll talk to them about having them on the show to promote. Who do you think runs that whole thing? Because I know it's like something like where they left them out.
Oh, I know. I kind of have like an inside person who knows who to like talk to for that.
And they have a good burger there, I think.
They do. They have good food at Wooden Match. And that train station in front of the Wooden Match, like that separate building, is now like a really awesome winery that you can go into.
Well, like, but what happened is they stopped like including them or something, or like there was something that went on with them where they were excluded from Music Fest or some shit like that.
I don't know, but anybody involved with Music Fest I don't like. That includes Thomas the Tank Engine. That includes anybody on any of those stupid fucking networks that they pay to be on. Other podcasts, possibly. Yeah, them. Fuck you people. That's another show.
We should try and go down there.
Yeah.
Sunday would work for me.
We should be friends with them.
I might have this Sunday off. I think I might have Sunday, Monday off. What's your schedule like? Like, because now that you're bartending, like, how much time do you actually have for your business? Like, a lot more. You basically can run your business and then bartend now and then.
Yeah. I mean, I work every Monday and Tuesday night. That's like my set in stone thing.
And that's not bad. Get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm. And then weekends are always different because we kind of rotate shifts, like at the Riverwalk, because it's...
Why does that sound so familiar? I think I've been there
That place
before.
is awesome. It's probably like, driven by it.
It's like it's off of 248, like up on your way to Jim Thorpe.
Yeah,
it's like that outside biker bar.
Barbecue. I've been there with Jandrew and those guys.
Yeah,
we
awesome.
went to I didn't know where that's where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I stopped there with Dustin and Brian a couple times.
Yeah, it's cool there.
We got lost in Jim Thorpe before they banned you for going up there. We like I was like, dude, we don't know where we are. It was like Fessler. I don't think Dustin was there. It was Fessler, Jandrew, and I was just like, dude, I don't like. We should save water. Like, I think we're lost. And then like some guy and a dog walk by, and we're like, hey, how do we get out of here? And he's just like, there's a road like 10 feet over there. Like we weren't lost
at Glenanoka.
Yeah. No, there was just like a giant sign with like exit.
Riverwalk is one of those places that are perfect because when I used to ride, the big thing you do when you ride is you just
I feel like I
ride
could
all
fall
day.
in love there.
But I'm saying you ride all day, and all you do is when you ride, you're gone all day. You just want to stop and get a drink somewhere and eat. That's what everybody does. So I'm going to go riding all day. Their whole goal is
what do they have there? Barbecue? Is that their thing?
Yeah, and we have a new manager, so we're like changing up some things there soon, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have really good barbecue, like smoked meats and stuff.
Why don't you do a thing there?
Because they let me sell my shirts there whenever I want.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why don't you send up, like, don't they do, like, bike nights and stuff there?
Well, we don't have a bike night right now, but we're going to have...
Why?
Listen...
They don't really have to.
Yeah.
Every night is bike night.
Yeah. That's a cool place.
Because it is, and the views and everything around it are awesome. So
do you live up that way?
Mm-hmm. I live like 5 minutes from there in Palmerton.
Oh. The Blue Bombers.
The Blue Bombers.
Why are they called that?
It's
like after a bird or something?
The Blue Bombers.
No, it's like a bomber plane. That's their like logo.
How do you know about the Blue Bombers? Old football stories?
Yeah, I think we ever played Palmerton, but I just know it because I know there's one of the bondsmen I know that lives up there too.
Mm-hmm.
No, we train up there too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So next 5 years, you want to expand and start hiring people and start hitting bigger conventions?
Yeah. And I would love to be able to sell my shirts like in other people's stores and stuff like that.
Have you contacted anyone about that?
I've actually had people contact me.
Yeah. Don't ever do consignment.
No.
That was like the worst growing pain in this business.
Have you tried doing like anyone? Online sales, like a bunch of shit, and promoting the shit out of it?
Yeah, I mean, you can order stuff on my website, so I have that option.
Does it do well or no?
Yeah, a lot of people like at first didn't know I had a website, but now like I give out cards like everywhere I go. And especially what I really think is cool is after events and people that take my cards, how many people actually like get in contact with me or like will follow my pages or check out my website or message me and email me. I'm like, that is cool to me that it stood out to them that they like
you did that and then
made the effort.
People,
because I know personally, like I'll take people's business cards and never even look at it again.
How dare you?
But like it's just the reality of it. Like in this day and age, like people want quick stuff like right away. And for the fact that people like take that card out and like look it up and check it out and will like message me or order something, I just think that's really cool.
You got to have cool cards.
I do.
That's what it comes down to.
I do.
If you don't have one, you know how many people go like the shitty basic cards and they're like, I don't understand. Nobody remembers my name because it's dog shit.
I think I don't have business cards.
Mine are flannel.
You need some serious fucking business cards. And they've come down so much.
We should get like talking ones.
You want to hand out little recorders?
Yeah, like business cards.
We should give out just like
the
tapes.
cards you open up, like
no,
the
cassette
cards
tapes.
Like, happy birthday. Like we'll just design ones.
No, you just gotta get ones that are cool, that stand out, or don't do the ones that are different.
I just realized
shaped.
I don't
do
have
oddly
business
shaped
cards.
ones. They don't work.
Why the fuck don't I have business cards?
I don't know.
I wonder when I stopped getting them. When was the last time I got business cards?
But no, I remember I met a guy and he was doing. He was painting guns and stuff. And I was like, I already have a guy. He's like, no, you don't understand. I got all these crazy tech. And he gives me one of those cards that are oddly shaped that don't fit in anything you would put a card in your wallet or anything.
Garbage.
He's just like, I got them because they're different. And I was like, yeah, it's going to go in the garbage.
Magnets are good too.
Magnets are great.
Yeah.
So are decals. Like even on this, you could just have like right on the circle here, like neveraganclothing.com.
Yeah.
My cards are flannel print. Stickers. They're like, everybody wants a sticker.
They don't care what's on it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that sucks about stickers is you don't get anything back from doing stickers. And everyone's like, you should do more stickers. And I'm like, they're expensive. Sticker guy is the only one who's really cheap.
But I'm saying is that everybody takes one. Like business cards, not everybody will take your card.
No.
And look at it ever again. But a sticker, they will for a while.
Well, I got these to give with the hats, and I still have rabbit's feet left over.
Those are cool.
They smell. We don't want those.
I Febrezed the rabbit's feet. They no longer smell.
Do you have like colored ones?
Yeah, I'll give you one before you leave.
Ooh, fun.
I got them from some trading company. I got like 200 or 300 of them for like $60 or some shit.
That's really cool.
But they smelled so bad because they were just like, they're just dyed.
It's the dye.
Came from Hong Kong.
The dye has a weird. I had a shirt like that. It was some kind of weird.
Yeah, the discharge. Yeah, the discharge shirts smell like they smell like fish. They smell like fish.
No, this one smelled like almost like ammonia.
Oh.
And it had a tag on it that said, hey, you might have noticed that your shirt has an ammonia smell. And I was like, yeah no shit.
I didn't realize discharge smelled until
it's a different
I did the rosy shirts, and everyone's like, hey, is this supposed to smell like fish? And I'm like, what? And then I like smelled one. I was like, oh my God. So then I started like Febrezing them or like airing
inside out in cold water or something.
Yeah.
And then it goes away.
No one complained after they were washed, but it's just something that with that process that makes it smell that way.
People love the way my flannels smell, by the way, because I have to wash them after I bleach them.
Oh.
So
do you get those unstoppable things?
Yes. I was just going to say.
Listen,
what
love
are
that
unstoppables?
Stuff. Oh, they're glorious little beads of heaven.
You put them in the washer. They're like beads that you just like pour into the washer.
There's so many different smells.
It seriously smells
for a long fucking
freaking
time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then I use the like matching fabric softener with it.
Yes.
People are like, oh my God, I just received your shirt and it smells amazing.
How do you package everything up?
Right now I just I like fold it nice and tissue paper it.
Yeah, it's important to do all that shit.
And when people order on my website, I write them a thank you note, like a cool card, and
I'm gonna tell you,
in there.
Yeah, when I order from Reload Rub, when I open it up, they had each individual bottle in a different color tissue paper with a sticker closing it, and then they have a handwritten note. And I even show my wife, and she goes, "That's fucking great." They did a handwritten note, and they thank you, and they're like, "Thank you so much for supporting us." Blah blah blah, and it's handwritten. It's not some that.
I'm gonna start doing
goes a long way.
Cut all the letters out of a magazine,
like a murderer.
Hey, thanks. I now have your address, and I'm gonna go through your garbage.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, and some of the people that have ordered from me multiple times, I'll notice that they're reordering. I'll like write to them and be like, hey, next time you want to order something, like bypass the whole shipping, all that. I was like, just message me and send me your like what you want, and I'll give you a discount. Like just PayPal me. So like people appreciate that too. That I interact with them.
It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it really does.
What do you use for your shipping and receiving? Just regular post office stuff or ship station?
Falcons.
I will see like
trained Falcons. I should start advertising that.
I just go to the post office.
Yeah.
And like the free envelopes they give you, it's almost the same price if I like buy the one that's like supposed to be cheaper.
And then like print it out, or
no, I just go there and
it is handwrite it. That way.
Those ones that are if it fits, it ships. That's a crock of shit. Because then they still go by weight.
Yeah.
Because I had one of those and I filled it with a bunch of swag. No, the one guy wanted a bunch of like T-shirts and a bunch of stuff from when I owned my business, and I stuffed the whole thing, and the guy was just like, "We can't ship this," and I go, "Why?" Well, it's bulging outwards, and I go, it says if it fits, it shits, and it's closed, and I taped it. No, they wouldn't ship it.
It looked like a football.
Yeah, if it
it's
fits,
a flat envelope. It's like this.
If it fits, it ships.
Oh, I've shoved hoodies in those, and I'm like, boom, it's like 10 pounds.
I had one guy in Nazareth like call me out on like my weight was wrong. He's like, this definitely doesn't weigh that, and I was just like, all right. And then he like weighed it, and he was like, you owe me more money. I'm like, come on, dude.
The guy
Who fucking cares? It was a quarter.
Dude, the guy in Allentown.
He also plays acoustic guitar on the
wonderful
fucking back
oh no, I know who that
loading dock.
I know who that
I heard it the one day when I lived over there, and I was like, what is that noise? I looked down, and he's just like, blah.
Yeah.
Stop. Was he singing too?
No, he was definitely singing.
The one guy in
he was probably trying to impress a lady at work.
The guy in Allentown, I went over, and my wife said, just put this in the mail and send it out to my grandmother for Christmas. So you walk up, and the guy goes, is there glass breakable, blah blah, and I go, I don't know.
Inflamables, batteries.
Yeah, and I go, I don't know. My wife said to send this to her grandmother, and he goes, you don't know? You don't know what's in this package? And I go, it's going to her grandmother. Oh, I can't send it then. I can't ship it. And I go, are you fucking kidding me right now? He goes, nope, I have to know what's in it before you do it. And I go, wow. So then I pretended like I called my wife, and I go, yeah, it's some kind of clothes or something. So then he actually cut it open, and he goes, it's a candle. How do you not know that it's a candle? And I go, I don't fucking care.
Oh,
but yeah, he wouldn't ship it. I had to go to a different post office. I hate post office people.
So do I.
Yeah, fuckers.
They're the worst.
So what else is new?
I don't know. I landscaped yesterday. It looks good.
At your house?
Mulching or stone?
Mulch.
Oh. Colored or
dark
old
brown.
school?
Dark brown. My mom helped me. I live in like a bungalow in Palmerton, and it was like a real shithole when I moved in there.
Yeah.
But I like made it look pretty nice.
That's always I love taking on projects like that where you walk in and you're like, I could make this really cool.
I mean, I'm renting it, so I didn't want to like do too much, but I did like a little bit. Do you have neighbors? Oh yeah, tons.
Ugh.
Yeah. My neighbors are cool though.
Yeah.
Like the house next to me is abandoned.
Is it a house by itself, or is it like a half a double?
It's a bungalow that's like split into two. So I have like the bottom part of it. Yeah. And I have my entrance is to the back of the like street. So I have like an alley entrance, but I can go up to the main street. And I have like two older people that live above me that are like really cool.
That's always important.
But I don't like ever see them unless I go up to the street. So it's kind of nice.
When I lived over here, I was like the youngest guy there, so I was like always jumping cars.
He was a young bachelor.
Yeah. It's pretty big though. Like I have like 2 bedrooms, a huge living room.
Was it an older place?
Yeah.
So there's like big windows, high ceilings, shit like that?
Well, my unit, I guess, is like the basement of the house, so the ceilings are actually low. Mm-hmm. But I like it just because I have a lot of space there. Like it's a big open living room. And I use my second bedroom as kind of like a craft room / closet. Yeah. My kitchen separate, and I have a shed that comes with it.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So that was like the deal breaker, because I can like store all my business stuff in there.
A she shed? You got a she shed?
Yeah.
What's a she shed?
You ever see that commercial?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Why you guys tell me about the commercial?
Somebody burnt down my she shed.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a thing now. Ladies like have a shed
instead of a guy having like their
tool shed.
Yeah, and guys have like their own little like man cave thing. So now they have like they're getting these.
Do they try and sell sheds?
And they like decorate. They like decorate them and like.
I'm sure.
Put couches in them and like make it all like girly inside, and it's their she shed.
Do you have a she shed?
No.
That was a joke. No.
Mine's my like workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just filled with bleach.
Yeah, because I can't have the chemicals in my house.
Pray for her.
Praying for you.
Yeah.
Don't get in your eyes,
man.
Pray for you.
Oh, I wear like a respirator when I do it, because I didn't for a while, and when I was working on them in my parents' garage like a year and a half ago, it was in the winter, it was freezing, so I had like the garage doors just cracked a little and like a space heater.
You're like running kerosene.
Oh yeah, I've done that too. I've done all the like risky stuff. But I like banged out like tons of shirts one night, and then I like went to take a shower, and I was like, you know, like when you're in the pool too long, like you're foggy eyed.
Yeah.
I was literally like tripping from this stuff.
I know a couple people that fucked with screen printing and don't wear respirators and like do it out of the garage, and then like you hear like a smoker's cough coming from them. I'm like, what's that from? And they're like, well, I've just been doing screen printing and I don't wear a respirator.
Oh, the paint fumes are terrible too.
Did landlords, did they say anything? Or the people upstairs, like if they look out the back and they see a girl with a respirator on going spraying and shit? Like,
they know what I do, so they like.
Oh, okay.
They know what's up.
I think she's making meth in the back.
In her shed.
Yeah, in her she shed. She said now a meth she shed. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you. I wanted to have you back on just because I always wanted to have you back on from the last time we did it.
Don't say because it was fucked up for 10 minutes, you cocksucker.
But the simple fact of what you've accomplished in the last 4 years is pretty incredible. And I always like seeing your growth and what you're doing. And one of my favorite things about you is there's like constantly like a fight. Like I can see like how much you just give a shit about it and try about it and figure it out. And like you're like it was the same way with having Ray on. Like you're not the type of person that would give up. Like they would just find a different angle, a different channel, and like taking it from the headband thing that like, you know, there's definitely people that would have just walked away from that and been like, cool, it was something I did when I was younger, like I gotta go find a job now. But like the creative aspect behind you and the passion and all that, and then like the drive and the work ethic, it's really why I wanted to have you back on. And like this whole season I'm like really trying to just bring business people on and just really get out as much information for anyone listening that would like just to take a step forward. Because the fact that you like quit your job that you were at for 10 years, which is crazy because that's such a long time, and then now you're running your own fucking business, and then you're not even satisfied with that, and you're like, cool, like I want this to be bigger, like, and then the fact that your parents are helping you out, like there's just so many cool layers to what you're doing. Yeah. And honestly, like it meant a lot to me when my dad like started making comments to me about him wanting to like help me. I was like, wow, they're taking it serious. Like I really am successful with what I'm doing. My parents used to always look at it as like, oh, well, he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. Well, you're going to do this another year. And my dad would have talks like, well, Michael, how much money are you spending and how much is this? And then it finally clicked with them where they were like, oh, like he's not going to stop. Like this is what he's doing. Like to the point where my dad was like, well, what are you doing tonight? And I said, oh, this girl's coming over for the podcast. And he's like, well, you have fun podcasting. He has no clue what I'm doing. Yeah. But like my brother showed it to him. Like when I first did the video, like my brother like texted me. I think all my brothers texted me about it and we're like, holy shit. And then like my parents were like, your brother showed us what you're doing. And it's important to have that because there was a lot of years where they didn't back me. I mean, my mom always did, but then you could tell sometimes where she was just saying, oh, okay. But I knew that they were like, just stop. Yeah. But now they're like fully behind it. And they're like, it's cool. You're lucky to have that. Some people don't. And it's a major driving force as far as being more confident. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I think they kind of like, they are very supportive. I'm very lucky. Like they come to almost all my events and they see like how many people, even when we're out, that are like wearing my stuff or like recognize me from it. And they probably see how happy you are doing it. Yeah. Like my mom has this, she was a school teacher at Parkland. So one of the business teachers at Parkland helps
like small business owners kind of get started with like their LLC and all that kind of stuff. And he's kind of like a business mentor. So I had a meeting with him at PJ's one day, and my mom came with me, and this girl came up to me that I hadn't seen in like years. And she's like, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted to say like, hey to you. And like, I absolutely love the flannels you're doing. Like, it's so cool, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, his jaw dropped, and he's like, he was like, he goes to the girl, can I just ask you a question? Like, did you, like, he just asked her about the whole flannel thing, and she's like, yeah, I see the stuff she does all the time. Like, everybody's always wearing them. And he's like, that's amazing. Because I don't think he understood, like, where I was at with it. Like, he thought I was just, like, a little crafter. Yeah. And he's like, that is amazing. Okay, like, now I'm kind of getting on board with, like, what you're doing with this. And
I'm excited to see where it goes, because it's like, it felt like when you parted with Band for Babes, it's like that came with it, and then you had this new thing. So it's like when it levels up again, it's going to be like Bands for Babes, then you're hella good, and then now you have hella good fans from different areas, so it's just going to lift it up one more time.
And if I'm not doing the flannel thing, like, I just feel like whatever path I'm on with this now, it's just going to bring me to like the next.
I've changed. I mean, I started out with doing t-shirts, and look where the fuck it took me to doing full video produced fucking podcasts. I didn't think it was going to do any of that. I was just trying to sell more t-shirts and hit him up about doing a fucking podcast. Then we went from audio to full video, and now I'm trying to like brand the clothing and the fucking podcast, and I'm sure it's been the same way with you, where it's like now I start trying to look at things being like, okay, well, what realistically can you do in a year? So I'm like, all right, well, you did this much, so like I want to do like step up a lot more video stuff. And I was telling him about like filming with stuff where like I would go film with you and film the process of it, and like instead of me trying to force that during a time when we're still trying to get this together, now I'm like, oh, okay, so that's 2 years away. Like I have the idea, and it's just going to be like storing a t-shirt idea. Like I just need to write it down and structure it. Or like I told you about the cooking show, like I'm definitely doing that. But it's like now I realistically look at it where like, oh, that's not happening till next year. Like why the fuck would I try doing a cooking show in the middle of trying to run this and figuring this? But that's what
you're crazy.
But that's what I used to try and do. So like I'm excited to see like you learning from mistakes and like leveling it up and like just getting to places and doing more festivals, and like I don't know, I'm excited. Like having you on here has made me want to like, I'm like, man, I gotta get back into clothing a little bit harder and like design more stuff, and like I definitely want to work on projects. Like one of my biggest sellers is when you did the 4th of July shirt. And every year I'm like, dude, I should be doing something like that again. I should be doing another 4th of July shirt. But look where our time is.
I know.
And I'm just like, fuck, man. Because I wanted to do something with Luke and Drew. And then I was even thinking about hitting you up. And I was like, I should just hit her up. And then it's just like whirlwind. And I'm like, oh, we're 2 weeks away from the 4th of July.
We could do a flannel collab.
Dude, yeah, we should.
Straw hats is where it's at. I ordered one.
Straw hats.
I ordered one. 4th of July.
Like a cowboy hat or like a Wizard of Oz straw hat? Like
not like I'm gonna go fucking plow the field. No, those ones they have from Florida that are real big.
Oh, I have. Company. It's like the one I have, the Billabong one.
That
like $65.
And they have like a string.
Yeah, so it was $65 in the surf shop. Found it on Amazon for $22.
There's a company. Get out of here, there's a company right now that does those. And what they do is you can actually contact them. You can get a custom, like, your logo on the front, like a patch that you put on the front.
Yeah.
And then they have underneath the brim, there's different designs and all that shit.
That's kind of
They sell ridiculously amounts of stuff.
They're probably so expensive to buy.
I bought a hat.
There's probably a minimum of like you have to get 500 of these.
Oh, no, I don't think so. But I'm saying
if I wanted to sell like never again.
But I'm saying they're like
hats.
It's like $29 for a hat and a bunch of like stickers and shit that comes with it.
Yeah, they get them for cheap. $4.
But yeah, you should do something like that. You can change whatever the bottom is. You can put whatever designs you want. You put your logo and shit underneath the bottom.
I know. I have a hard enough time with just getting hats done.
I don't think it would be that difficult. Like I just have a
feeling you'd probably have to get a patch, and I looked into leather patches, and you have to buy 500 to 1,000 of them at a clip.
I wanted to get leather patches for like just the bottom cuff of my flannel to like sew on, so people know no matter what it's mine.
Well, you don't necessarily have to get leather. You can get a fabric ones, and you only need about $150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there's like
You know
by
what we should
looking
do
at
is
it,
see if
I've
somebody will
seen
split it and be like, hey, if I order 500, but she's going to do 250 and I'll do 250, and then just split it down the middle instead of having to pay out the ass for 500 fucking.
Well, I actually have a patch company. I know that they do embroidered patches or they do PVC patches. So it's like a rubber and it actually prints on top of them. You don't need to order that much. I gave you one. Remember, I gave you those ones you put on they had Velcro and shit in the back.
Oh yeah.
I ordered those.
Fell apart.
It didn't fall apart. I still have one,
That piece of
and
shit.
I've actually ran it through the washer.
Wrote the owner.
I know I ran it through the washer a bunch of times, and I probably shouldn't have, and it hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
You can do those and have it sewn on. I'm telling you, I have a feeling that it doesn't cost that much money to make those things, and there's tons of people that have them.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Straw
It's
hats.
just a podcaster, dude.
Straw hats.
Just the audio side. Not even video.
No, I wore. It's right there. It's
awesome.
the Billabong one hanging up.
Exactly. It looks just like that.
Yeah.
Exactly
Those are
like
sweet.
that.
Dude, they're. I was never a beach.
I was going to wear it to this podcast, but unfortunately,
You should have. I
shipping
would
is
have put mine
super
on.
fucking slow. No, their shipping sucks.
That
dick.
means it's coming from Hong Kong, Mr. America.
No, it's coming from Florida. It's just they use DHL. I haven't had anything shipped in DHL in probably 20 fucking years. So I left from Boca Raton about 4 days ago. So it'd probably be here
I bought
tomorrow.
I bought linen.
I saw your
shorts.
crazy stuff.
And I bought them from this company called New Chic, and they were on sale, and they're comfortable as hell. I don't know how they're going to hold up after one
Did you
wash.
see,
They're probably just going to fall apart.
No, have you seen Kevin Hart when he was on vacation? He was wearing a lot of linen.
Yeah, dude.
All
I'm
of his
telling you,
outfits, he
all
was walking.
summer.
He kept going.
All summer.
You wear them, you
I
have to show it off.
I have 2 pair, and I have 2 linen shirts, and I think I'm going to get like 3 more shirts, and then 2 more shorts, and I'm going to get some new slides, sockless slides with linen shorts and linen shirts, and that fucking hat.
Bitchin'.
You have a summer, like, do you put, like, I'm just a weirdo, but like I pick like a theme, and then I'll stick with it all summer. Do you do shit like that? Like
Yeah.
you're creative, like with your jean jacket. Like I'm guessing you did that.
I actually didn't do this. I found this at a thrift store. That's cool.
It is cool. I thought you made it.
People always think I make everything that I wear. Honest to God.
You should just
I
say
like
you
that
do.
shirt.
Just say you do. Be like, I made this.
I actually wore this like making shirt, so there's like bleach all over it.
Yeah.
It's a collab. Oh, I just like destroyed something.
Nah, it's just the table. I thought it'd be a good idea to wrap it in metal for an audio podcast.
You could do like ASMR.
What is that?
You don't know what that is? It's
Do
like
you
this.
know?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's like the sound, like sensitive sound stuff people do on like YouTube.
Is that those like YouTube ladies who like whisper and then people jerk
Yeah, they
off
like
to
eat
it?
things and like
Yeah.
it's
I guess some
fucking
people
weird.
jerk
They like
off to it.
they like
Am I
squish
just a weirdo
stuff and
thinking that?
I don't think people do that.
I'm sure there's definitely people who.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying I doubt that they're. Yeah, but and there's also.
I'll do it tonight just to prove you wrong.
I also watched a video today that they were interviewing Marilyn Manson. He was talking about people make music now that's weird sounds and weird kind of chords that are supposed to make your brain feel like it's tripping or hallucinating. It's some kind of weird thing. And he's like, yeah, people do that weird shit. And I'm like, anything that dude says is fucking. I'm assuming somebody's doing something weird with it.
I don't know.
So if they're doing that, I'm sure they probably have weird noise tapes
I'd
that
rather
people
just
are
go to
jacking it to.
ayahuasca.
it's weird. It's on YouTube. Look it up. ASMR.
I will. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
What's
for
your
having
social
me.
media plugs and all that stuff?
My personal one is at EMNEUX. My flannel business page is at livn _hella_good. Website is livnhellagood.com.
Cool. And before the show, and we had talked about doing this before, but now you see the space is sometime this summer, and we should probably do it sooner than later. I want to do a night where you have everything here.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Definitely.
To come down, and then we can kind of just do a mixer.
That'd be cool.
And then you can just sell your flannels, and I'll have some stuff for sale.
Sidewalk sales are coming up. Magic Day. If you set it that way, you can guide people from upstairs to here.
I'd have to have Gina and Kara do it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is there are going to be people in town. You can put a sign up that say, look, we have stuff downstairs, and that'll bring them down.
Yeah. But no, I want to collab on that, and I was saying we could probably find like a brewery or something, and then if we don't, we can just get beer and I'll just make food. But like the barbecue place, we can probably get food catered.
Yeah.
Just do something like that.
Have cookies.
Yes, we're definitely having cookies.
Matt J's barbecue.
Yeah. But I have like when you set up for those things, do you have like things that you like set up and have stuff on hangers or?
I usually just have like I usually set up a tent.
Yeah.
So I have like racks of clothing in there.
That's what I meant, like racks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So between the two of us, we can probably set something up really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then what we could also do is I've been going over to Miguel's, this restaurant over in Belfast.
It's very good.
And on Fridays, they have this guy named Neil, and he plays lounge music on a keyboard. And he plays like Steely Dan and like old disco. And I think I'm just going to start hiring him for any event I do down here.
Fun.
Because I always wanted to like have music and stuff, and I'm like, well, that'll be too loud or that'll get everybody out of control. But if Neil's just over in the corner with a keyboard playing like Staying Alive,
Tick on the Ivories.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Keeping it real smooth and laid back.
Yeah, like keep it smooth. Tick on the Ivories in the background.
We always go over there and we always tip them. So it's just awkward because sometimes they'll be playing and make eye contact.
And you slowly put it in like a stripper.
Nope. I'm usually like
those little smooches.
No, it's
Give
like
$1.
I get just as awkward if I was asking a girl for her
That's
phone
true.
number. Like I'm like, hey, here's your money, Neil. But that's what I want to do. We should do it.
I'm down.
Cool. You can listen to this podcast on iTunes, on Never Again Radio, Never Again Studio on social media. That's Instagram and Facebook. Never Again Clothing to get all the latest apparel, and I don't think there's anything else to plug.
All Alexa devices, you just say,
oh, that's right,
Alexa, play Never Again Radio podcast, and it'll play it.
Cool.
And we haven't done Google yet because Carlos won't call me back, that piece of shit.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And thank you again. I know the drive's a bit to come down here.
It's all good.
Cool. Thank you so much, and we'll be collabing on some stuff soon. I still don't know how to end these, so Jesse.
Wait, what was your closer? Holy mackerel.
No, my opener was Holy Mackerel.
Oh,
and I forgot. Like I'm trying to get like a catchphrase, like "Get her done." So I want to be like the Holy Mackerel guy.
Oh God.
What?
he texts me shit like this all the time. Like, my new saying is gonna be Holy Mackerel. I'm just like, not only did you spell it wrong,
what do you mean?
Don't think that's right.
Yeah. Holy Mackerel! What a great show.
Holy mackerel.